Coming up on First at 4, a police chase in Laurel County ends with gunfire. Hear what one witness had to say about the shooting. Plus, more health issues for the royal family. The new diagnosis that has King Charles stepping back from his public duties.
Plus, more fantastic weather is on the way through midweek. Your first alert forecast coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, Kentucky State Police investigate an officer-involved shooting in Laurel County. It happened yesterday afternoon. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox has more on what we know so far.
A police chase lasting around 15 minutes reportedly ended here in the Lilly community. The chase reportedly ended with an officer-involved shooting. Eileen Sizemore, who lives here, says the shooting happened in her front yard. Sizemore says everyone was scared.
Every animal and human around here was scared to death. Everybody was calling and texting, and it was wild. It was something that you would see on TV, you know, not here.
Sizemore says she has lived here for more than 30 years and has never witnessed anything like that in person. I'll have more on what she witnessed and the latest on the investigation at 6. In Laurel County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Police say the suspect is at the University of Kentucky Hospital being treated for injuries. They say charges are pending upon his release from the hospital. Police say no officers were hurt. 2 Eastern Kentucky legislators have filed a bill aimed to help volunteer fire departments. WYMT's RJ Johnson has more on that.
Senators Philip Wheeler and Johnny Turner filed Senate Bill 141 aimed at supporting volunteer fire departments. Wheeler says volunteer departments have been struggling for a long time, especially in rural areas. He says many people throughout the state depend on them.
Upwards of 85% of residences in the Commonwealth of Kentucky and businesses are serviced by volunteer firefighting departments. So they're really essential for emergency response throughout the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and particularly in rural areas like Eastern Kentucky.
Wheeler says this is an effort of helping better support these departments. I'll have more tonight at 6, but for now, in Corbin, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
RJ, thank you. We will have more on how this could impact volunteer departments tonight at 6.
Well, we are tracking some gorgeous weather across the mountains as we kick off the new work week. Let's go to our live camera at Buffalo Mountain from Perry County. That current temperature up to 59 degrees as we are dry today under nothing but sunshine and blue sky. A fantastic Monday across the mountains, up to 59 for Jackson, 63 in Manchester, also Harlan, 64 in Middlesboro, also in Jacksboro. We should be in the 40s, so we are well above average on this February afternoon. Up on first alert pinpoint Doppler, as high pressure is the name of the game. We are tracking some more dry weather, and as you can see, high pressure centered over Nebraska, also Kansas, and that will continue to dominate our forecast as we go into tonight, also by Tuesday and Wednesday. So some more nice weather is on the way as we go into the middle of this week. If you have those plans this evening, once again, we are dry under a mainly clear sky. And those temperatures are cool back in the middle to lower 40s by this evening. And we wake up close to or below freezing in some areas, in the upper 20s and lower 30s as you wake up and walk out the door on Tuesday. More nice weather on the way tomorrow and Wednesday, but rain chances are looming later on this week. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Britain's King Charles has been diagnosed with a form of cancer and has begun treatment. Buckingham Palace says the cancer is not related to the King's recent treatment for a benign prostate condition. It did not say what form of cancer the 75-year-old monarch has. We know the King started treatments today. He plans to continue work on state business as usual, but will postpone public appearances for the time being. The trial against the mother of the Oxford High School shooter could be coming to a close soon. Jennifer Crumbly is facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter after her teenage son gunned down 4 students at Oxford High School in Michigan in November 2021. For more than a week, prosecutors have worked to show the Crumbly parents ignored their son's mental health and planned to run. After closing arguments on Friday, jurors returned this morning to begin deliberations. Of course, we'll bring you the verdict when it is reached. Secretary of State Antony Blinken landed in Saudi Arabia today on his latest visit to the region to push for the release of hostages. During his visit, Blinken plans to call for an extended humanitarian pause to the fighting in Gaza and increased aid. Right now, Israel and Hamas are reviewing a potential deal, saying a U.S. official says, quote, the ball is in Hamas's court. After Saudi Arabia, Blinken will travel to Egypt, Qatar, Israel, and the West Bank. Coming up on First at 4, California is being pummeled by rain, wind, and flooding. What's different about this weather system and how long it's expected to last?
Plus, we are tracking some more above average temperatures this week. Those details coming up after this break.